Hello students, in this video you'll come to know certain important Viva questions related to gravimetric analysis. The first one, what do you mean by gravimetric analysis? The gravimetric analysis, as the name implies, it involves the estimation of a substance by the process of weighing, the substance usually being precipitated in some form or the other, right? Then the next one, which operations are involved here? See, gravimetric analysis is basically a tedious technique. It's a time consuming technique, but however highly technical. It involves various operations, like you have to first weigh the sample, then prepare the solutions, then you have to go for the precipitation, then the digestion followed by filtration, then you have to go for the washing of the precipitates, then drying, and if necessary even incineration as a last step. After that, the third one is, which is more advantageous, gravimetric or volumetric? So the great advantage is of gravimetric method over volumetric method. It is due to the reason that the constituents in case of gravimetric methods may be seen and examined for the presence of impurities, right? And if necessary, you can even go for a correction. But however, definitely there is a negative aspect related to it as well. It is more time consuming than that of volumetric method. Fourth question is, what are the efficient conditions for precipitation? See, precipitation is one of the important step which needs to be followed within gravimetric analysis. So the efficient conditions for precipitations are, like, precipitations here are usually carried out in hot solutions, since the solubility of the precipitate is generally greater at higher temperatures than at room temperatures. Okay, then precipitations are effected in dilute solutions, and as well, to go for an effective precipitation, reagent has to be added slowly and with thorough stirring. The next case here is you need to have the bigger particles of the precipitate. So to obtain the bigger particles of the precipitate, the solubility of the precipitate is increased by the addition of a suitable reagent. These are certain conditions which need to be followed while the precipitation step within the gravimetric analysis. The next question is, what is co-precipitation? See, as the name suggests, co-precipitation. Okay, so what it is? See, you can say here it is a process by which the soluble impurities become incorporated within the precipitate particles during its formation. Okay, so what happens due to co-precipitation is the contamination of the precipitate take place, which are soluble under the normal conditions of precipitation, right? And that particular contaminated precipitates which are formed, you can say it is a formation of a co-precipitate. Next is, what is digestion or aging in gravimetric analysis? See, generally the precipitates are not filtered off immediately after they have been formed. You must have observed this thoroughly in gravimetric analysis. You have to keep your precipitates for certain time without being disturbing it, right? So precipitate is usually allowed to stand either at room temperature or over a flame or on a water bath, depending upon the nature of the precipitate, for few hours. So it could be from 12 to 24 hours. In certain cases, you have been also told to keep your precipitates overnight. Now this process is called digestion or aging of the precipitate, right? What happens is, this affects the complete precipitation. Okay, so slowly you can say a granular dense precipitates gets formed, and then you can filter it easily. Okay, the next one is, why digestion is an important step in gravimetric analysis? So as been already mentioned when I specified what is digestion, the same thing almost. So the net result of digestion is usually to reduce the extent of co-precipitation, that means impurity within the precipitates would decrease. Because of that also we go for this digestion. It also increases the size of the particles, which is a favorable point with reference to the precipitation. As a result, your filtration becomes easier. ठीक है? And even you can say, if you see, there are various types of precipitates which can be formed depending upon the reagent and the substances which you are going through within the gravimetric analysis. So it has been observed that digestion has a little effect upon amorphous and gelatinous types of precipitates. The next question is, what is the role of policeman in this analysis? When you went through your procedures within gravimetric analysis, you must have gone through this word called as policeman. What it is? See, what happens when you go for the filtration wala portion, sometimes a little of the precipitate or some of its particles remain sticking with the side of the beaker. Okay, they stuck up with the beaker there. So this can be removed by rubbing around the inner surface of the beaker with a rubber tipped glass rod, and that rubber tipped glass rod is known as policeman. Okay, see the next question. What are sintered glass crucibles? What are its advantages? So in gravimetric analysis, you basically can take help of even Whatman filter paper. Then you can also go for Gooch crucibles, or the best way for the effective separation, we prefer to have sintered glass crucibles. Now, what are the sintered glass crucibles? First of all, these crucibles are advantageous over your Whatman filter paper or Gooch crucibles. The reason being, you need not prepare any kind of filter mat within this crucible as you need to prepare for Gooch crucibles. These sintered glass crucibles are made up of Pyrex or Jena glass, Jena, right? They have a porous bottom of sintered ground glass which is fused on the body of the crucible. So there is a porous bottom on the lower side there, right? In the form of a filtering disc. Now this filtering disc is obtained in various degrees of porosity. So it could range from 100 to 120 microns, or 40 to 50 micron, or 20 to 30 micron, 5 to 10 micron. So these are available in various porosities. So when I say G4, okay, so G4 means G is the kind of glass which is used, and the number 4 grain size of the glass plate, the fritted glass plate there, which is fitted in the bottom of the glass crucible. So number 4, like G4 crucibles, so number 4 crucibles are found to be better for filtration of very fine precipitates. Like in case of barium sulfate, if you want to filter up, then you go for G4 type of crucibles. Number 3, G3 crucibles. So number 3 are used for the precipitates of medium particle size. So if you want to filter, say, silver chloride, it's having a medium particle size, then you can go for G3 size. Okay, so on that way you can select your, depending on the particle size, you can select the porosity, which porosity sintered glass crucibles are to be made use of. Then the combining question here was, what are its advantages? Why should we use this crucible? So there are various advantages. The first one is, this crucible is resistant to the chemical reagents. However, there are certain exceptions like hydrofluoric acid and hot concentrated alkalis. Except them, it is resistant to almost all the chemical reagents. Then further, these glass crucibles can be dried to constant weight at about 100 to 150 degrees Celsius. They can be easily cleaned. They can be heated to 500 degrees Celsius with gradual heating. Okay, and filtration becomes quicker with help of this particular type of crucible. See the last question there. What is the role of desiccator in gravimetric analysis? See, desiccator has a very important role to play in gravimetric analysis. Why it is so? Heated samples are cooled in a desiccator particularly to prevent the sample from gathering moisture as it cools. So we do not want ki as your precipitates are cooled, if you keep it in open air, moisture from the air could easily attack it. To To prevent the sample from gathering moisture during cooling, you prefer to keep it within desiccator. Within the interior of desiccator, it is completely dry. Why it is dry? Due to the desiccant which is kept at the bottom in the form of, say, anhydrous calcium sulfate, right? And on the other side, not only this, it's not only provided with the desiccant so that the interior remains dry, but also it is sealed from the upper side so as to keep outside moist air from getting in. Okay, so that's for this particular video. Thank you.